It is March 25th at 3 o'clock, and I just went to the bookstore and got quite a few books. I didn't mean to. It was just like a small local bookstore, and you know, I like to support small businesses, especially during COVID. So I like to use that as an excuse of why I bought so many books. But let me show you them. I got Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Then I got Assassin's Apprentice, Robin Hobb. The guy said this is like a 9-book series, and I'm in for like a big book series, which I'm open to it. I heard this was really good. The Burning Girls by C.J. Tudor. This is the same person who wrote The Chalk Man, and I liked The Chalk Man. And finally, I got The Princess Bride, and it is an illustrated edition, and I'm excited to read this. And I think I'm going to do a 24-hour reading vlog. I recently saw Emily Fox do it, and it's been a while since I've read a book in one day. And I think I'm going to try this one because it's illustrated and I love the movie. I've never read this book, so I'm excited. But who knows if I'll actually read it in a day. It's so nice out, so I might go for a walk and then just sit outside and read. It's been forever since I did that. So starting with The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I've only read a little bit. I'm on page 36. Because I've only seen the movie, I've never read this book. So it starts with an author who grew up with his dad reading The Princess Bride to him. This book that's, you know, not real, but it is in this story written by a different author, S. Morgenstern or something like that. And he loved it. And so when he was grown up, he's an author now, and he gives the book to his son. And he realizes that because he's never actually read the book himself, his father read it to him when he was bedridden with pneumonia. And so when he opens it, he realizes that it's this bigger book and it wasn't the children's books at all, but his dad just like read only the good parts, and so that's why he loved it so much, and his son didn't, because his son tried to and it bored him. And so now this author's like, I'm going to abridge it. I'm going to write the book as his dad read it to him, like with only the good parts in it. And so now I'm at the part where he's telling the story of the Princess Bride. So the first part was him introducing this book and why he loved it. And if you didn't really know what the Princess Bride is, and like how it's a fake author, and like how it begins with, you know, in the movie, someone reading the book to a child, you wouldn't really understand it, because I was like, at first I was like, is Morgenstern real? Is this, you know, but it's like, no, he's not real. The real author is William Goldman. But it's interesting how it starts off. It's 2 a.m. and I'm only on page 88 of The Princess Bride. I got caught up in a video game called Valheim. Paid for like 4 hours or so instead of reading. That was very bad of me. And this has like 450 pages. So if I want to do it, I have a lot of reading to do tomorrow. But I really like it. If you like the movie, then you'll be a fan of this so far. But I'm only in chapter 3, so hopefully it continues to say good. It is noon and I'm just starting to read, so I doubt I will finish a book in a day, which sucks because that's what I wanted this to be, a 24-hour reading vlog. I just worked out a little, jump roping. I think it was like a TikTok or a video. It was like, do 1,000 jump roping a day. I don't know. Whatever it's called, like and I'm very out of shape, so I don't even do 1,000. I do like 500. But it's one of those that counts itself, so I don't have to like sit there and count. But I'm trying to get back into shape. Not that I was ever in shape, but I've gained a little weight during this pandemic, which is perfectly fine, and I know a lot of people have, and I'm not ashamed of that or anything. Like, I'm not, but so I just want to get into shape. I don't need to like technically lose weight, but I'm definitely out of shape. And now that the weather is nice, I can start going for walks and doing outside activities, because I really don't like working out and like equipment. But let's see how far I can read until like 4. I think that's when I technically started. But I'm outside on the porch because it's nice out. But a lot of car noises you can hear. I don't know how it would feel about this book if I didn't read if I didn't watch the movie, because you know they were describing Princess Buttercup and Wesley and how like all he ever says to her is like as you wish, like in the movie, and then she realized that she loves him, and then she goes to him and she's like I love you, and he's like I love you, and then he's like I gotta go to America to get better, to build a better life, and so like for her and them, but it happens so quick. But I don't get annoyed because it's not, and this may be because I've seen the movie, because I don't feel like it's insta love or it's like, you know, cheesy or gross. And I think it's because I already know these characters, and like, you know, it's, if you've seen the movie, you know the movie, like you know the story. But then like right after it's like, oh, he dies, and then a prince comes and he's like marry me, and she's like no, he's like I don't care about love, and she's like great, I'll marry you. And then it's like one chapter is the author who's abridging the author of Princess Bride that doesn't exist, but he's saying how from when he proposes till now, the next chapter, it's been like 3 years, and he's saying how it's just boring and we don't need to know, we just need 3 years has passed, and she had to become a princess of a small land because she can't marry a commoner, and so now it's back to the story. I'm at the part where Princess Buttercup gets kidnapped, and I'm just laughing at this line, not because of how funny it is in this context, but like I said in the movie, no one, the Sicilian assured him it would be inconceivable, absolutely inconceivable. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I got to the part that it, you know, he kept saying it throughout this chapter, and now inconceivable. You keep using that word, the Spaniard snapped. I don't think it means what you think it does. If you haven't watched the movie, then it seems kind of lame, but it's not. So Inigo Montoya is introduced. He was the Spaniard, and we're learning a lot about him. You don't really know much about him except for one major thing in the movie, and I loved Inigo Montoya in the movie, and so I'm glad we get to know more about him. But he just said his famous line in the book. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. So I like that we get to know more about him, and the whole story about how his dad died and like why he died and all that stuff. So I'm glad we get to know more about him because he is my favorite character. Well, one of them. Obviously Wesley. So if you know the movie, you know like the giant and like the guy with like the hunch, and then Inigo Montoya, which I'm sorry I keep referring to the movie, but each character of like the ones we meet so far have like go into more details about them, which I like, because in the movie you don't know much about them. So this whole section is Inigo's section. So we haven't really learned about the Sicilian or the Sicilian. All we know so far is Inigo and then the giant. And see, this is illustrated, so it has pictures like this. I'm pretty sure we'll learn about Wesley later, but that's who I'm really interested to know, his backstory and stuff. Or at least what he's been doing for 4 years, why the princess is alone. But I'm only on page 164, and I have like 30 minutes left. I don't know why I thought I could read this in a day. I have this much more. I don't know why I thought I could read that in a day, but it's been a while since, like, the majority of my day read. Like, obviously, I took a lot of breaks because I didn't get that much. I only read like 164 pages, which still I think is pretty good for a day. And hopefully I can read more in the 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, I'll check in and see how much more I've gotten. And then I'll end the reading vlog there. So I'm on page 200. I think that's pretty good. I was hoping to get more, but that seems like half. I'm really enjoying it so far. So I do definitely recommend this because I think halfway through I can recommend something, because I think unless the ending completely sucks, which I don't think it will be, I think it's safe to say that I really like this book and I recommend it, especially if you are a fan of the movie. It's a fantasy historical fiction book. So if you like those types of books, I think you'll like this. I mean, it is silly, but it's supposed to be. So if you don't like silly, then don't read it. But that is all for my 24-hour reading vlog. Like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye!